Hi, guys. Today we are going to talk about, we're going to ask a question. How do you come up with an EDM hit? What's the anatomy of an EDM hit? An anthem, the one that becomes famous worldwide, makes the career of whatever artist that we may be talking about, like Avicii or whoever. How do you get to something like that? What's the process? And today I'm going to try to answer that question. And I'm going to put an emphasis on try because there are many roads that you can take to get to just a dynamite track. So basically what I'm doing here today is I'm starting out with, I've got a beat here. It's got a little loop that I've kind of chopped up and made my own, and a clap sound. Basically that's it, just kind of like a little template just to get started with. Probably a little bit too much swing on that loop. Well, maybe definitely a little bit too much swing, but it's something to start out with. And basically you can either have, on a good dance track, you can have a chord progression and a melody. Is the main thing you're looking for, is a chord progression that is kind of grooving, captures the interest of the listener, the club, and a melody that's good, that kind of rides over the top. So, one of the ways to start is, without getting getting distracted by any sound design, is to and I've done this, I had a song idea one time. I was in bed, laying in bed, getting ready to go to sleep, and was kind of working over melodies and thinking about producing, and this melody popped into my head. And so I leaped out of bed and grabbed an EXS-24, put the piano on here, and that's what I'm going to do right now. And so I put the piano on and I recorded that melody that was in my head, and I actually stayed up a little bit longer and I developed it into actually a 16-bar loop that resolved at 16 bars. And it became, is actually the first track that I ever had signed to a label. It's called Vista. But it just came to me in my head. But there's other ways of doing it. You don't have to, let's get this thing going here. I think we're good there. There are other ways of doing it. You can sit here and try to come up with a melody. That's obviously a melody. Whoops, not a very good piano player. But you can obviously come up with a melody and then try to work around that, build a chord that underneath it. But today, let's just play around with MIDI notes. And this is actually, this is kind of like I'm being a little tricky here, as you'll see as I go along. But I'm going to just show you what it may have looked like to come up with this particular song. And so here we go. So, okay, we're in Logic, so we're going to draw ourselves a region. Okay. Take it out to 8 bars. Let's make sure we're at 0. Yep. And let's open up, and let's just say, for example, okay, you can hear that. Okay, let's just make it in B, okay? Here we go. We're going to make it in B. Whoops. Okay. And this is a dance hit, so let's give it a little bit of, let's rush it a little bit, come in on the and of 4. another note. Okay, and let's try a little call and response, a question and an answer, okay? Oh, what happened there? Okay. There's the question, right? So that's your bass line. Okay, so start of your bass line. What's the answer to that question? Okay, let's, to be really simple. Okay, and then it resolves where the question, the call out ended. So here we go. We got a call and response. Okay, so you can see what I mean. It goes, you've got your call out, and you got your answer, response. So it resolves itself and it leads you right back to the beginning, okay? Okay, so let's make some chords out of this, all right? So let's start filling it out here. I think you can see where I'm going here. So let's just fill this out the rest of the way here. Make it nice and fat. Get some chords down here. Okay, so let's see. That ought to sound pretty good, right? Okay, so let's see what comes next here. What comes next? All right, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Let's go up here. Whoops. Huh. Sounds pretty good. I think I'm onto something here. Now, what's the answer to that? But you can see how it's kind of coming together here. You know, just hypothetically here, how this would have come together. Okay. Let's see, C sharp. Let's go with, just kind of going down a half step here. So keep making that mistake. What would be good here? Let's... Okay, that's basically the second. So let's kind of try to replicate that. Let's see if that works here. Let's see here. Take this down to E. Let's see here. And this is basically the resolution, this last one. So it's basically like the resolution of the first here. So let's just, we've already got the bass note there. So let's bring this over. Let's see where we're at here. By George, I think we've got something here. But it's not going to really sound that good with just piano. Sounds kind of boring, right? In fact, that's really boring. It's a great chord progression. In fact, it sounds timeless to me. Wow. So hypothetically, what could happen next is that you'd switch instruments. You'd go to a synthesizer, okay? Let's go to Serum. It's a good one. Whoa, that's pretty loud, so let's turn that down. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, so let's throw a filter on there. By George, that has really got potential. Okay, so let's get in here to, let's turn this into a sound here. Well, that sounds kind of trancy there, so let's not have quite as much detune. Okay, only need 4 because we want to get, I mean, these chords are really strong. So I want the tonic. I don't want them to be all over the place. I want them to really establish the musicality of the track. So just 4 voices. Don't want them all. I want them kind of in unison. Well, that might work, huh? That might work. Let's turn on a LFO, okay? Put it to the cutoff. Let's see here. Well, let's see. Let's try eighth notes here. Okay. There's still a lot of snap there. Let's see where we're at here. Wow. I think I've got an EDM hit. Let's see, but it needs some bounce though, doesn't it? It's just kind of doesn't work with those chord changes. You know, the transition. Let's see here. Let's put in a sidechain emulator here, okay? All right, let's see. Let's go with that one. I like that one. Let's go about 90. Ah, there we go. Wow, so here in just a few minutes, I think I've got something pretty good. Let's give it a space to live in here. Hollow room, let's go hollow room. Chamber. Let's go 4-second chamber. There we go. It's definitely starting to sound like an EDM hit now, huh? Okay, let's see. What if we automated something here? Just what if? Just hypothetical. Okay, let's take it out and see what we can do here. Let's see. Let's just throw in some automation here. Okay, let's get serum up here. Okay, we want to automate the filters, so here we go. Okay. Is that where we want it? I want to take it up a little bit higher, maybe. Just a little bit. Maybe start bringing it up here a little bit, like right about here. I think we need to bring this up a little bit. This up. That seems like the song's going to start building right there. Okay. Then it's going to build all the way up to filters opening up right here, right? Let's see here. Or no, right here. Let's see. starts building in intensity. And then maybe some kind of chorus after this bar here, huh? This set of bars. Well, I think I've got it. Obviously, this is a hit by deadmau5. It's called I Remember, from about 10 years ago. It's one of the most brilliant progressive house tracks. Well, what I think is progressive house. It's one of the most brilliant tracks of all time. But you see how easy it is to come up with an idea like this? Didn't take me that long. Maybe 15 minutes or whatever, however much time we've spent here. But let me tell you something. If you're sitting at home in your home studio and you're playing around like this with chords and you come up with something like this, it's inspiration. And if you come up with something this strong, and it's just showing you that it's completely possible. But if you do come up with something this strong, that is what it takes. This is the kind of idea, and it's the simplest. This is the most primary level idea that you can really get to in a track. I mean, there's probably room for 40 more tracks of effects and support, chords, pads underneath. And in fact, there is in the original song. I encourage you to go back and listen to it. But these are just the plucks. But yeah. If you're sitting at home and you're playing around trying to come up with something that sounds really good, this is what your goal should be, to come up with something great. And I wish you luck. And thank you very much for watching.